Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I'm going to check the Snapper 6 and the URUAV UR65 micro brushless quadcopters. Since these quadcopters are very similar, in this video I'm going to review them side by side. In addition, I'm going to show you how to set up the Flysky and the Frsky version, and I'm going to test them both indoors and outdoors. Both quadcopters are using the Racer Crazybee flight controller, which I've previously reviewed. This flight controller has a built-in receiver, so you can either get the Flysky or the Frsky version. In addition, you can choose whether to get the basic version or the standard version. The basic version comes with one battery. The included battery is a 1S HV 250 mAh Lipo battery. And you get in also this simple USB charger. The standard version comes with this more advanced charger, which will allow you to charge 6 batteries simultaneously, and you also get in 2 extra batteries, so in total you get in 3 Lipo batteries, and except the sticker, these batteries are identical to the ones that are included with the URUAV UR65. In addition, with both quadcopters, we get in a screwdriver, a propeller extractor tool, 1 set of spare propellers, extra screws, and 2 rubber bands. So here you can see both quadcopters next to each other, and they look quite similar. On the front we can find a 48 channel 25mW all-in-one camera. Both quadcopters are using the same camera, and you can adjust its angle by just loosening the screws on the side. In addition, it's possible to change the position of the camera on the snapper by just moving the back part. I'm not sure if it's intentionally done, but you can still adjust it like that. As I mentioned before, both quadcopters are using the Racer Crazybee flight controller. It has a built-in receiver, supports Betaflight OSD, and in addition, it uses this 3-pin connector for connecting the motors, which will enable you to swap motors quite easily. On both quadcopters, on the back, we can find a 2mm connector for the battery, which is great. And the Snapper 6 is using the 0603 19,000 kV motors by Happy Model, and the URUAV is using the URUAV 0603 17,000 kV motors, and even though it has the URUAV logo, I suspect that they are made by Happy Model as well. The biggest difference between these two quadcopters is of course the frame. The Snapper 6 is using a carbon fiber bottom plate, and the motor protectors are made out of aluminum. The URUAV UR65 is using a plastic frame, and they should actually name it Snapper because this one is going to snap easier than the Snapper 6. These plastic parts are probably going to break in a crash, so it's advisable to order an extra frame in case you are going for the URUAV UR65. Having a more rigid frame, of course, has a cost, and the Snapper 6 weighs 23.6 grams, and the URUAV UR65 weighs only 20.4 grams, and in conjunction that it uses lower kV motors than the Snapper 6 will lead to much longer flight times on the URUAV UR65, and I'm going to check it later in this video. The included battery weighs 6.4 grams, so with the URUAV UR65 the total weight is 27 grams, and with the Snapper 6 the total weight is 30.1 grams. So now I'm going to show you how to bind the Frsky version and the Flysky version. Let's start with the Frsky. Under configuration on Betaflight, under the receiver, make sure that the SPI RX support is chosen, and the default option is Frsky X, which will enable you to bind the quadcopter using the D16 protocol. This is the one I'm going to use. If you'd like, you can also change it to Frsky D, and then you'll be able to bind the quadcopter using the D8 protocol. Entering the bind mode is done by first plugging in the battery. Then you have to press the bind button for about 3 seconds until the LED indicators on the bottom are going to turn solid. Now you can see that they are solid, which means that the quadcopter is in binding mode. Then turn on the remote controller, go to the model settings, and if you chose to use D16 protocol, just choose D16, channel range 1 to 8, hit bind, channel 1 to 8, telemetry on, and now you can see that the LED indicator starts flashing, which means that the quadcopter was successfully bound. Then we can hit exit, unplug the battery, and after plugging in the battery, you can see that we get in the RSSI of the receiver. When binding the Flysky model, you also have 2 options. The default one is the Flysky 2A, which will enable you to bind the quadcopter using the AF HDS 2A protocol, and if you're going to change it to A7105 Flysky, it will enable you to bind the quadcopter using the AF HDS protocol. The binding procedure on the Flysky version is a little bit different than the Frsky version. What you're going to need to do is to power on the quadcopter either by the battery or by the micro USB connector while pressing the bind button. I'm going to use this jumper transmitter, so what you're going to need to do is to enter the model menu, model setup, choose AF HDS 2A, of course if you selected the 2A option under Betaflight, and after you enter bind mode, hit bind, and you're going to be good to go. Setting up the VTX is done by pressing the button which is located on the top of the camera. Short pressing it is going to change the channel, and long pressing it is going to change the band. Just refer to this frequency table and then you'll be able to set up your favorite frequency. I set it to 5860, which means the band is 4 and the channel is 7. The top LED indicators indicates the band, so we can see we have 6 LED indicators over here, and on the bottom we have 8, the left one is 1 and the right one is numbered 8. So as you can see on top, the 4th LED indicator from the left is on and the 7th LED indicator on the bottom is on, which means that the frequency is 5860. The next thing I'm going to do is to show you how to enable the motor beacon, which will enable you to find the quadcopter easily in case of a crash. In addition, I'm going to demonstrate the flip after crash feature, which is also known as the turtle mode. So after connecting the quadcopter to the USB port on your computer, plug in the battery, then open the BLLE configurator app, hit connect, then hit read setup. And as you can see by default, the ESC comes pre-flashed with 16.6 version. Hit flash all. Do not change the first value, select 16.7 and hit flash. Now all the ESCs are going to be flashed with the latest firmware. Wait for it to finish, it's going to take about a minute. Then hit disconnect. You can unplug the battery. Then head over to Betaflight, connect to your quadcopter, head over to configuration. Make sure that DShot 600 or any other DShot protocol except the 1200, which is not supported, is selected. And next to the beacon tone, select 5 and make sure this switch is also on. Hit save and reboot. Then connect again to your quadcopter on Betaflight. Head over to the CLI, enter get beacon, copy the beeper DShot beacon tone text, enter set and pass this value equals 5, then hit enter. Press save, and as you can see, after plugging in the battery, we can hear these beeping sounds, which can also be controlled by using the beeper switch. Setting up the flip after crash is done on Betaflight. Head over to the modes section, then you need to define a switch for the arm, and also a switch for the flip over after crash. And as you can see, when the flip over crash is enabled, we can just use the roll stick in order to flip it. So you can see it was successfully flipped. The next thing I'm going to do before going over the Betaflight configuration is to charge the batteries. If you have the simple charger, make sure that the switch is positioned in this manner because it's going to charge HV batteries. If it's going to position it like that, it's going to charge normal batteries with a terminal voltage of 4.2 volts. When on HV, it's going to charge it to up to 4.35 volts. When the charging procedure is going to be finished, the LED indicator is going to be turned off. And if you're going to use this multiple output charger, once the charging procedure will be finished, this flashing green indicator will turn solid, and you can change between the different modes using this switch. When it's positioned on top, it's charging HV batteries, and when positioned on the bottom, it's charged the batteries up to 4.2 volts. And you can also change the current. When this switch is set to the left, it's going to charge it on 0.2 amperes, and if it's going to position on the right position, it's going to charge it on 0.6 amperes, which is going to be a little bit too much for this 250 mAh Lipo batteries, so I recommend to charge it on 0.2 amperes. So now I'm going to quickly go over Betaflight settings, and then I'm going to fly these quadcopters both indoors and outdoors. I hope you will enjoy the rest of this video, and I'll see you in the end of it in order to give you my conclusion. So overall, I enjoyed flying both quadcopters, but if I have to pick one of them, I would go with the Sniper 6 for a couple of reasons. First of all, the frame is much stronger, and you are probably going to break the frame of the URUAV UR65 after a couple of flights. It didn't happen to me, but I'm pretty sure one of the plastic parts is going to break, so you better order a new one. Even though it costs a few dollars, still it's not such a delight to change a new frame, and you are probably not going to break the frame of the Sniper 6 that easily. In addition, the Sniper 6 felt more powerful. Of course, it has a price, and the flight time is not as good as the URUAV 65, which is, I think, the only advantage of the URUAV 65 over the Sniper 6, that the expected flight time would be around 3 minutes using the URUAV 65 and about 2 minutes on the Sniper 6. As you could see, the range was pretty good, and you're going to be limited by the 25mm all-in-one camera, and I didn't have any radio issues on the Flysky and on the Frsky versions. On the last flight footage by Tom, he used these full-blade propellers of the Ishin E010, and I recommend to get a few sets of these propellers and try them on. And even though I think it's going to reduce the flight time, I think the quadcopter is going to be more powerful. I'm not sure if it's needed on the Sniper 6, but I do suggest that if you get in the URUAV UR65 to give it a try. Now, if you're debating which version to get, the standard or the basic version, I would go with the standard version if you don't have this multiple output charger at home. If you do have one of these at home, I suggest going with the basic version and just get more batteries. 3 batteries is just not going to be enough for you. I think you need to get at least 6 batteries in order to fully enjoy these quadcopters, since the flight time is pretty short. As always, I thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it and you find it useful, and it helped you to decide whether you want to get the Sniper 6 or the UR65. And if you decide to get one of them, please let me know in the comment section down below, because I'm pretty curious to see what is your opinion about them. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you like this video, and consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell if you're not already subscribed. See you in my next videos, and goodbye.